I'm Premee Mohamed, and I'm reading from Chapter 2 of The Annual Migration of Clouds, out now from ECW Press. We live in the Biological Sciences Center. A strange affair, as I know from my reading, but what were people supposed to do? No one seems to have accurately imagined, let alone zoned neighborhoods for, a human existence in which no one in the world could survive, unless it were close to a river in a sturdy building. And the university still had those when Grandma's generation was forced to find refuge, and so here we are today. It's not a disaster if you still have a roof, Mom always says. It's not a tragedy. Not if the wolf gets to the last piggy's house and finds he can't blow it down. Long ago pillaged and sacked, our castle of brown brick and cream trim still stands, snooty, even snotty, above the ruins of newer buildings. Ugly, really, over 100 years old and wonkily coyote-shaped on the map, but proud of its ugliness, filled with hundreds of offices and labs that slowly became occupied as the world shook itself apart. Home, sweet home. Mom and I are on the 11th floor, zoology. Henrik on the 8th, genetics. Grubby stairwells, concrete and brick, everything smeared with the passing touch of thousands of people, redolent of unwashed bodies and the outside dust that gets into everything, but redolent also of things that refuse to fade, of books, chemicals, specimens, ink, age, dignity, maybe. The persistence of the smell suggests that we are participating in, rather than merely witnessing the aftermath of, some proud and even noble, long unbroken chain of knowledge and study. But the truth is, of course, that the chain did break, and not once, but again and again and again, and not just in the transmission of knowledge from the learned to the unlearned, but also parent to child, elder to youth, country to country, every way you could think of. We live in the scattered links that remain. Some of us try to piece them back together, of course, impossible to resist at least trying, but the powers of the old world are required to reassemble it in full. Easier, though infuriating, when you are surrounded by essentially intact existing links to make a new one. Otherwise, you end up as nothing more than an alchemist, screeching about theories based on texts that even the ancients didn't write about with a completely straight face. The wheel was practically the only thing that did not have to be reinvented. Briefly, as usual, Henrik and I paused to catch our breath on the 6th floor landing. The staircases are mostly left clear, concrete polished too smooth by too many feet to be really safe. Someone tumbles down a flight about once a week as it is without something to trip over. People brush absently against our backs in passing. In silent agreement, we squeeze into the window to study our valley. Unlovely in the early spring, crested with a thin rime of muddy snow, the river still choked with ice, a single slate-dark thread of water at its center. Sleeping tangle of gray saplings, dead shrubs of sepia or amber or faded dogwood red, brown sparrows and dust-colored pigeons. The only real color is magpies, repeated shouts of iridescence, irritatingly clean in their black and white suits, like photographs of actors or spies. How do they stay so clean in this crap, I always wonder.